Ladies, gentlemen, and everything between, hello to the channel. We're taking a step back from like the football and like sports reactions and the Eurovision reactions and the cultural reactions, and today we're just going to be learning. I haven't done like a learning reaction in a long time, and instead of doing history, I decided we're just going to kind of take a step back and look at the entire continent of Europe. And this video is the European Union explained. What is the European Union? Obviously, I know it's like an alliance that y'all have. It's kind of like the NATO thing and, you know, that kind of thing. But what's the, like, nitty-gritty details of it? We're about to find out. Subscribe if you're here, like the video, and let's get into it. Don't be judgmental, bitch, because I know there's a lot of stuff you probably don't know about American stuff. So if I say something or ask a question, it's genuine curiosity and ignorance. It's not a bad thing, I just don't know. And this is me trying to find out. So don't be disrespectful. And if you are going to be disrespectful, your mom's a hoe. Anyway, here we go.
Where is the European Union? Obviously here somewhere, but much like the European continent itself, which has an unclear boundary, the European Union also has some fuzzy edges to it.
That being said, how the heck did Russia get all that land? Because everybody else is all cramped together, but all of a sudden, Russia is man-spreading in a PT Cruiser. It doesn't make sense, but anyway.
To start, the official members of the European Union are, in decreasing order of population, Germany, France, the United Kingdom, Italy, Spain, Poland, Romania, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Greece, Belgium, Portugal, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Sweden, Austria, Bulgaria, Denmark, Slovakia, Finland, Ireland, Croatia, Lithuania, Latvia, Slovenia, Estonia, Cyprus, Luxembourg, and Malta.
So basically the entire western part of Europe has an alliance that says if you fuck with one of us, you fuck with us all. And I bet you, why... Like, you should be, whoever you are, why aren't you in it? Every single country bordering you is in it, so why aren't you in it? And the rest of y'all, what's going on?
Edges of the EU will probably continue to expand further out as there are other countries in various stages of trying to become a member. How the EU works is hideously complicated and a story for another time, but for this video you need know only three things. First, countries pay membership dues, and second, vote on the laws they all must follow, and third, citizens of member countries are automatically European Union citizens.
The first two things I was like, eh. But that third? Wow. Can you imagine? I always say, like, y'all, seeing y'all complain or be angry kind of irritates me, because I drive 5 miles, I'm in Oklahoma. What the hell do I have to do in Oklahoma? You drive 5 miles, you're looking at the Eiffel Tower. You're looking at mountains. You're in, like, a gondola. Just for being in the European Union, you are a citizen of all the European Union countries, basically. Right? Y'all are living life on easy mode in certain aspects. Free healthcare, free education, you know, free vacations, basically. Well, I'm living in a struggle, babes. This whole time I'm out here, America the beautiful, America the great. We're number one, I'll tell you to your face. No. Because where's my multi-country citizenship at? Where's my free healthcare? Why did I have to take out student loans? But I'm from America, the best, right? It's kind of like the fourth wall thing, and like any second Will Smith or whoever is gonna come and like flash me, and I'm gonna forget and just be America, America, you know.
Well, this last means that if you're a citizen of any of these countries, you are free to live and work and retire in any of the others, which is nice, especially if you think your country is too big or too small or too hot.
That was a Matrix reference, by the way, in case you didn't catch it.
Or too cold. The European Union gives you options.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, did you notice how all three of these statements have asterisks attached to this unhelpful footnote? Well, get used to it. Europe loves asterisks that add exceptions to complicated agreements. These three, for example, point us towards the first bit of border fuzziness with Norway, Iceland, and Little Liechtenstein, none of which are in the European Union, but if you're an EU citizen, you can live in these countries, and Norwegians, Icelanders, or Liechtensteiners can live in yours.
Liechtenstein? I've never heard of that country. Sorry to say, but never heard of it. Liechtenstein. Huh. Is it... How old is this video? Liechtenstein. Like, you've never heard where you from. I'm from Liechtenstein. No one has ever said that.
Why? In exchange for freedom of movement of people, they have to pay membership fees to the European Union, even though they aren't a part of it, and thus don't get a say in its laws that they still have to follow. This arrangement is the European Economic Area, and it sounds like a terrible deal were it not for that asterisk which grants EEA, but not EU members, a pass on some areas of law.
Okay, ignoring your farms, fish, tax, justice, and foreign policy rules. First world anarchists. Okay, this one's kind of going over my head. Someone explain. Is he saying that the EEA countries, these ones that aren't officially in the European Union, get to, like, not have taxes on this kind of stuff? And, like, there's no rules? Or are they saying they still get imposed rules, just without all the benefits of being in the actual EU? Someone, like, explain it a little bit better for me. Yeah.
Notably farming and fishing, something a country like, say, Iceland might care quite a lot about running themselves. Between the European Union and the European Economic Area, the continent looks mostly covered, with the notable exception of Switzerland, who remains neutral and fiercely independent.
That's true, because Switzerland, even back in World War I, World War II, those sorry to call you hoes, it's just an expression, but they're always, oh, I'm not involved. They never want to, like, get in the mix.
Except for her.
Why is that, Swedish people? Let me know. Why don't y'all ever get into an alliance or an agreement or anything? I'll never pick sides.
Her participation in the Schengen area. If you're from a country that keeps her borders extremely clean.
Not you shade. This is Canada. This is America. And honestly, the fact that we did this is kind of dusty and crusty. Like, was it really that serious? This is shade at me too, because whenever I'm edging my lawn, and it's like my house and my neighbor's house, I'm the type of I edge a line between our yards. I haven't done it recently, but I used to, like, put an edge line just so they know, hey, you need to mow this side. I'm not going to mow it, and that's you. I'm crusty and dusty too. I'm American.
And or well patrolled, the Schengen area is a bit mind-blowing because it's an agreement between countries to take a meh approach to borders. In the Schengen area, international boundaries look like this. No border officers or passport checks of any kind.
That just means y'all trust each other. Because, like, I don't know if y'all were around whenever I was going to school in Pennsylvania, but basically, like, once a month I would go up to Canada and visit family or whatever. I'd be crossing the border back and forth all the time. And it was always such a hassle. Like, I'd be there for an hour. They wouldn't let me bring my food. It was just always an issue. Whereas y'all don't even have, like, real borders. That shows trust. That shows, like, I don't know, just good economics and common humanity. I don't know. Actually, no. I feel like it is kind of necessary, especially in North America, to have, like, borders and more stricter, for sure. Because it's still, again, it's like, not to say y'all are living on easy mode, but the things we do here are just more hardcore, I guess. Like, how do you know if someone's bringing a gun across the border from America to Canada, or vice versa, from Mexico to America? You never know. So we do need harsher checks, I guess. Whereas in the States, like the actual states, like if I were to drive from Texas to Oklahoma, there's no border check. But if I were to drive from the US to Canada, there is a border check.
You can walk from Lisbon to Tallinn without identification or the need to answer the question, business or pleasure. For Switzerland, being part of Schengen but not part of the European Union means that non-Swiss can check in any time they like, but they can never stay. This kumbaya approach to borders isn't appreciated by everyone in the EU, most loudly the United Kingdom and Ireland, who argue that islands are different. Thus, to get onto these fair isles, you'll need a passport and a good reason.
You let me know your thoughts on that. I call, like, BS, because whatever, you're an island, so what? Like, I can take a ferry across, I'm still in the EU, I still pay my dues. That's like, we have an HOA, which is like homeowners association. Basically, they don't do anything, but you have to pay them every month because they partially own your home and land. It's a stupid, stupid thing. But it's like them saying, oh, you have to pay your dues every month, but just because, like, you live in this specific neighborhood, we're not going to let you do certain things. But you still have to pay the full dues, like the people who do get to do those certain things. Like, I should get a discount. If I'm not getting to go to the water park in the next neighborhood over, just because I live in this neighborhood, I should get a discount. Why are we paying the same thing and I'm not reaping the same benefits? That would be my argument with the UK and stuff.
This reluctance to get fully involved with the EU brings us to the next topic, money. The European Union has its own fancy currency, the euro, used by the majority but not all of the European Union members. This economic union is called the Eurozone, and to join, a country must first reach certain financial goals, and...
So if you're poor, you're not getting in. This is interesting. Two things. Why did the UK decide to go with pounds and not the euros like everybody else? It's kind of us. It's like us using inches instead of centimeters. We just want to be spicy. Shout out to the UK. But also, like, the whole you gotta have a certain amount of money to enter. It's kind of shitty because, you know, if you're poor, that doesn't mean, like, I don't know. I just feel like everybody should be able to get in if you want to.
Lying about reaching those goals is certainly not something anyone would do. Most of the
non-Eurozone
members
who is he shady?
Will ditch their local currency in favor of the euro, but 3 of them, Denmark, Sweden, and of course the United Kingdom, have asterisks attached to the euro section of the treaty, giving them a permanent opt-out. And weirdly, 4 tiny European countries, Andorra, San Marino, Monaco, and Vatican City, have an asterisk giving them the exact reverse, the right to print and use euros as their money, despite not being in the European Union at all. So that's the big picture. There's the EU, which makes all the rules, the Eurozone inside of it with a common currency,
Sorry, but what other religion do you know that has a whole city dedicated to it? Like the Vatican City? Aside from, like, Jerusalem and over there, but that's, like, multicultural. You have the Christians, you have the Jews, you have the Muslims, you have everybody. But I feel like Christianity or Catholicism is the... We're so extra. Really. Anyway.
The European Economic Area outside of it, where people can move freely, and the selective Schengen for countries that think borders just aren't worth the hassle. As you can see, there's some strange overlap with these borders, but we're not done talking about complications by a long shot, once again, because empire. So Portugal and Spain have islands from the colonial days that they've never...
So, sorry to pause it again, but he said not sorry, it's a reaction, what do you expect? So he's saying that the European Union is just like a modern day empire. It goes back to my first question, like, why does Russia have all that land? Because I know they didn't, like, it wasn't originally there. They probably stole that shit. Just like we stole America. But yeah, it's just a modern day empire. Instead of having all these individual countries, you have technically one big team, you know?
Empire. So Portugal and Spain have islands from their colonial days that they've never parted with. These are the Madeira and Canary Islands off the coast of Africa, and the Azores well into the Atlantic. Because...
Give that shit back. Why you from Europe? Why do you got claims to Africa? Get your ass out of there. That's how I feel, straight up.
Because these islands are Spanish and Portuguese, they're part of the European Union as well. Adding a few islands to the EU's borders isn't a big deal until you consider France, the queen of not letting go. She still holds on to a bunch of islands in the Caribbean, Reunion off the coast of Madagascar.
But it's not... I feel like he's definitely making light of it, because we all know about imperialism, slavery, all that stuff. Like, this isn't like a hee-hee-ha-ha kind of thing. The people here, like, I don't know. It goes back to Britain, too. It goes back to America. These aren't, like, great things.
Are in French Guiana in South America. As far as France is concerned, these are France too, which single-handedly extends the edge-to-edge distance of the European Union across a third of the Earth's circumference.
You know how in 1775 America revolted and, like, we were like, no bitch, we aren't British anymore? What if, like, everybody just did that and everybody just wanted their independence? What would France say? Like, they can go to war with those islanders? Really? Would they? But I feel like there's probably also... I feel like they probably depend on France economically, right? So that, like, keeps them from saying, hey, we want to peace out. I feel like there has to be, like, give and take or some benefit to still being ruled by somebody who isn't even near you. Nah.
Collectively, these bits of France, Spain, and Portugal are called the outermost regions, and they're the result of the simple answer to empire: just keep it. On the other hand, there's the United Kingdom, the master of maintaining complicated relationships with her quasi-former lands, and she's by no means alone in this on such an empire-happy continent. The Netherlands and Denmark and France, again, all have what the European Union calls overseas territories. They're not part of the European Union,
we do it
instead
too, so
they're
I can't
a
be
bottomless
salty, but...
well of asterisks due to their complicated relationships with both the European Union and their associated countries, which makes it hard to say anything meaningful about them as a group, but in general, European Union law doesn't apply to to these places, though in general the people who live there are European Union citizens because in general they have the citizenship of their associated country, so in general they...
Jesus, the in general. It makes sense the way he's explaining it. Like, technically you are owned, I'm just going to say owned, by this certain country, therefore you get the same benefits as this certain country, even though you aren't there. It makes sense. It's the least they can do.
They can live anywhere in the EU they want, but in general, other European Union citizens can't freely move to these territories, which makes these places a weird, semi-permeable membrane of the European Union proper, and the final part we're going to talk about in detail, even though there are still many more one-off asterisks you might stumble upon, such as the Isle of Man, or those Spanish cities in North Africa, or Gibraltar, who pretends to be part of southwest England sometimes, or that region in Greece where it's totally legal to ban women, or Saba and friends who are...
Wait, what? Ban women? We're getting into a whole other topic here, and I'm not really ready to go there right now. But yeah, this is interesting to find out, and like I said in the beginning, it basically is just like a team kind of thing. Like, I got your back, you got my back, we all reap the benefits, we all like give to this one idea. But I didn't realize it was kind of like a modern day empire until the dude said it. Like, it makes perfect sense. Like, we're all on the same side of the continent, and we're a team. So if you mess with one of us, it's like you're messing with this huge region. It's genius, but also does give me very much imperialism vibes, can't lie. But let me know what you think about the European Union. Do you think it was a good idea? Because I know there was a huge fight back in the day about like England and other countries not wanting to join it, but considering y'all joined it now, I guess it wasn't that big of a deal. Bye!